Today on Bridge City News, the G20 summit got underway in Japan with finance ministers from around the world gathering to discuss the global economy. Music is in the air this weekend as the Lethbridge Jazz and Blues Festival continues. And Queen Elizabeth celebrates her 93rd birthday today, and the Duchess of Sussex also made her first official appearance since giving birth to baby Archie.
Your nation. Your province. Your southern Alberta. From the heart of Lethbridge, it's Bridge City News with Paul Arthur.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. There are going to be some sweet sounds drifting through the air this week as the annual Lethbridge Jazz and Blues Festival continues. This afternoon's main event was at Galt Gardens with Jazz at the Park.
For our Jazz at the Park, we're expecting probably around 1,500 people over the course of the afternoon. In terms of the band, the bands and what they can expect, Rondell Roberts is coming down from Calgary, some straight ahead stuff. And then to finish off, we have a band out of Winnipeg called the Dirty Catfish Band. And they're like a New Orleans street band. So it's a great party band, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Tonight, you can catch the highly talented Latin jazz guitarist and singer Oscar Lopez performing at Casa with an 8 o'clock start. And on Wednesday evening, the Sweet Inspiration Gospel Choir with Don Pemberton will be singing at Southminster United Church. In honor of Canadian Environment Week, the Lethbridge Sustainable Living Association held an event today called the Fix-It Fair at the Westminster Community Hall.
Basically, the event is we have people who have donated clothing, and people are welcome to come down and check it out and find some treasures. And then we also have some volunteers on hand to do some basic repairs of different household items. So everything from bicycles to jewelry to furniture, that kind of thing. Yeah, so Environment Lethbridge, we are a Lethbridge-based nonprofit organization. Our mission is to inspire community action towards sustainability. So we really look for opportunities where people can take action, whether it's to reduce waste or to conserve energy, different things like that.
Environment Lethbridge says Canadians on average throw out 81 pounds of textiles every year. The City of Lethbridge is set to open up outdoor swimming pools this week. Henderson Pool will open up on Monday, while Westminster Pool won't be open until next Saturday, but that will be a free swim as they celebrate YQL Neighborhood Day. And the Father's Day swim will also be free from noon till 7 p.m. Alberta's so-called energy war room is gearing up to take on oil industry foes in real time. Alberta Premier Jason Kenney says the $30 million project will utilize social media and ad campaigns to challenge critics of the oil and gas industry. Kenney met yesterday with a number of pro-oil groups, including the Canadian Association of Petroleum Producers, to discuss strategies. Greenpeace Canada, meanwhile, says attacking environmental organizations that raise concerns about the oil industry ignores the reality of climate change. A working group created by the previous Alberta government to study a potential ban on conversion therapy will not be supported by the United Conservatives. Health Minister Tyler Shandro broke the news to the group in an email. He says the group's mandate elapsed when the NDP lost the April election. Shandro says he is still willing to hear advice from the group. The NDP says the group will continue its work and make recommendations to Shandro. Victoria Mayor Lisa Helps says the backlash against the city's efforts to seek federal funding for annual Remembrance Day events may have been due to the timing of the debate. The council discussed asking the Defense Department and Veteran Affairs to help with policing costs on Thursday, which was the 75th anniversary of the D-Day invasion. Helps says public reaction has been intense, and she senses council will reject the proposal when it comes up for a vote next week.
I think it probably was the timing, and I think these things are symbolic. So we don't have very much money as local government. We have 8 cents of every tax dollar. But my strong feeling is that even with the limited resources, there are some things that we do need to fund, even just in a symbolic way. And policing costs and staffing costs to close down the roads for Remembrance Day and the Victoria Day Parade, those are some of those things for the reasons that I've stated, to support the men and women who have served our country and who continue to serve. I do think it was, Councillor Isaac's motion was kind of ill-timed, not very well thought through, not malintentioned, but all of those things together kind of set off a bit of a bomb. I think what we need to focus on, what Council needs to focus on, is our strategic plan. Cutting back funding to Remembrance Day isn't in our strategic plan. getting rid of horses isn't in our strategic plan. We have a very bold and ambitious strategic plan, and that's what I think we need to stay focused on, and that strategic plan was created by this council.
The Toronto Raptors are one victory away from making sports history with a hard-fought 105-92 victory over the Golden State Warriors in Oakland last night. They take a commanding 3-1 lead in the best-of-7 series. The coach and players are keeping a low profile, but Raptor fever has spread across Canada.
You know, we're going to get back there, and as you know, they're going to be going crazy in Toronto. And you know, my message to them is we've never really talked about the series score. Can't let people take you someplace you aren't yet, right? And we know this is a great team, and we know how hard we have to play to beat them. You know, home or away, we know how hard we have to play, and just focus in on trying to be the hardest working team on the floor. If we do that, then we'll give ourselves a chance to win and go from there.
We ain't do nothing yet. We haven't done anything. You know, we won 3 games. You know, it's the first of 4. We understand that they're the defending champs, and they're not going to go out easy. They're going to come and fight and prepare to play the next game, and that's how we're preparing ourselves. Like we got to prepare ourselves to play the next game. You know, we haven't done anything yet.
We be getting better and better each round, first round, second round, third one, and now we're here. You know, so you know, like Kyle say. We always try to be ready. You know, even the guy who don't play, they come out there, you know, put in work. Even myself and Mark, you know, when you play last minute, you come the next day, you know, you put in work. So I think that's one of the thing about us. Also, you know, you see, you know, each night is different guys because we always try to be ready.
I'm pretty sure it's a long time waiting. They're going to be excited. I mean, they're already excited just being here for the first time. They're going crazy after the Eastern Conference Finals, and I don't know, there's no telling.
Game 5 and possibly a first-ever Canadian championship goes on Monday night. Some Jewish politicians and community leaders are asking Elections Canada to change the dates of some federal election voting days because they fall on holidays when Orthodox Jews can't vote. Election Day can be no later than October 21st under federal law, but Toronto Conservative candidate Chani Arya-Bain wants the federal court to force Elections Canada to move the day. A Toronto voter, Ira Wallfish, is also named in the application, and the Jewish organization B'nai B'rith might intervene. However, Elections Canada says the date will not be changed and that the situation is unfortunate. Foreign Affairs Minister Chrystia Freeland met with her Cuban counterpart, Bruno Eduardo Rodriguez Parilla, yesterday to discuss trade and investment and also the role of Cuba in the ongoing humanitarian and political crisis in Venezuela.
I believe we are seeing an international convergence around the need for a peaceful transition in Venezuela, resulting in free and fair elections and a return to democracy. Cuba will have a role to play in this, and that is something I discussed at length with Minister Rodriguez today. Let me start by emphasizing that Canada very much recognizes that this is an issue for Venezuela and Venezuelans, and it is an issue to be solved by Venezuelans. We strongly believe that. Having said that, we are working to support the international conditions for a peaceful return to democracy in Venezuela. Our meeting with our Lima Group partners in Guatemala yesterday, I think it was our 14th meeting of the Lima Group foreign ministers, was a very important part of that. And our objective is simply that the people of Venezuela deserve to have their democratic and human rights restored.
U.S. President Donald Trump has suspended his plans to impose tariffs on Mexico after negotiators reached a deal on immigration. But the deal falls short of some dramatic overhauls the U.S. had pushed for. Trump tweeted late yesterday that he has suspended plans to impose tariffs, saying Mexico has agreed to take strong measures to stem the flow of migrants into the U.S. That plan includes returning asylum seekers to Mexico, increasing enforcement, and providing job opportunities, education, and health care. Finance Minister Bill Morneau was in Japan this weekend as finance chiefs from G20 nations gather to discuss ways to adapt global finance to an age of trade turmoil and digital disruptions. The central bank governors and other financial regulators are also flagging risks from upsets to the global economy as Beijing and Washington clash over trade and technology. Morneau held a one-on-one meeting with U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin to discuss the positive trade relations between the U.S. and Canada and the importance of passing the new North American Trade Pact. Officials in Afghanistan say the Taliban have killed at least 14 members of a pro-government militia in an attack on checkpoints in a western province. A local provincial spokesman says 7 other militiamen were wounded in the late Friday attack, with 2 of them reported to be in critical condition. The Taliban, who effectively control about half of the country, regularly carry out attacks. Queen Elizabeth has marked her official 93rd birthday with the annual Trooping the Colour Parade. About 1,400 soldiers marched past the Queen in a ceremony on Horse Guards parade in Westminster. Prince Harry and his wife Meghan were among the royals who took part. It was the first official appearance by the Duchess of Sussex since she gave birth to her son Archie a month ago. Recapping one of our top stories this hour, U.S. President Donald Trump has suspended his plans to impose tariffs on Mexico after negotiators reached a deal on immigration. And a look at weekend weather. There is a risk of a thunderstorm this evening, but clearing overnight with a low of 6. For tomorrow, sunny in the morning, then a mix of sun and cloud with a 30% chance of showers, and again, a risk of a thunderstorm with a high of 18 degrees. Cody Bates is a convicted killer, a former gangster who did hard time in prison, but he has a remarkable story of a complete life turnaround. Hal Roberts has that interview straight ahead. But first, here's a look at what's happening in and around your community.
Here's your Bridge City News Community Calendar. Kick off your summer with Alberta Blue Cross and Silverberg Group's Street Eats Festival on Saturday, June 15th, beginning at 11 a.m. at the NMAX Center parking lot. Enjoy delicious and unique food truck cuisines, a kids zone, entertainment, and an eating contest. This event is in support of Lethbridge Family Services. For more information, visit lfsfamily.ca. Devil's Coulee Dinosaur and Heritage Museum, located in Warner, Alberta, is now open until September 2nd. Take a tour of the Dinosaur Gallery, heritage exhibits, and military displays. Visit Charlie the Baby Dinosaur, dig in a simulated bone bed, and see an actual nesting site. For more information, visit devilcoulee.com. And that's your Bridge City News Community Calendar.